A tube of crescent dough costs about $2. By the end of this video, you'll have 10 ways to turn this into something people think you got at a bakery.
We've got savory, cheesy, garlicky, and a little spicy. 10 crescent roll appetizers that take almost no effort and make a serious impression.
I can't believe we've never made pigs in a blanket on our channel. It's probably one of the most iconic appetizers there is. And to be honest, we were gonna change it up and make it a little fancier, but why change a good thing? The best part about these is that it's easy to scale for however many you need. But just one package of crescent rolls makes 24 pieces. Separate them into 8 triangles, then use a sharp knife or a pizza wheel to cut each triangle into 3 smaller triangles. The type of sausage is totally up to you. Any small cocktail sausage or these little smokies, they work great too. Place a cocktail sausage or little smoky on the wide end of each triangle, and then roll up the dough. Set them on a baking sheet covered in parchment paper. Beat 1 egg with about a tablespoon of water and brush it over the tops. Then sprinkle on some sesame seeds for a little crunch. We're gonna bake these at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 13 to 15 minutes. You want them to be puffed up and golden brown. Serve them warm with mustard, ketchup, whatever you like to dig in. I mean, it's the perfect bite. No wonder these guys keep showing up at parties.
I'm going classic with mozzarella and pepperoni for these pizza crescent rolls that are a winner every time. I'm using my Typhur Sync Air Fryer today to cook these rolls. You can use the oven, but I really prefer the air fryer. Not only does it not heat up your house more in the summer, it also cooks way faster. And the Typhur Sync has a ton of space, so it's gonna fit everything. Just wait till you see how crispy these turn out. 1 package of dough is gonna make 8 of these rolls, and this recipe is simple to double or triple, so you can make as many as you want. Just gonna roll these out, and then you can cut them along the seams, making 8. First, cut up all the mozzarella sticks in half. On the wide end of each of the triangles, place half of the mozzarella stick, and then space out about 4 slices of pepperoni over the dough. Roll them up so everything's tucked neatly inside. And set them in your air fryer basket or on a baking sheet. Here's a quick crescent roll hack. They always look better when they're brushed with an egg wash. We're just gonna beat up an egg with a little bit of water. Brush the egg wash all over the top. And now for the seasoning. In a small bowl, combine a teaspoon each of garlic powder, oregano, and basil. Sprinkle that seasoning blend right over the top. And they go at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 to 10 minutes depending on your air fryer. This air fryer has an app that lets you monitor the temp and time of your cook, so I'm just gonna walk away for about 8 minutes. The Typhur Sync cooks so fast and it gives this perfectly even crispy cook in half the time as the oven. These are my new favorite. They're cheesy, crunchy. Oh, those are good.
No complicated techniques or ingredients. We're just making good food here. And these garlic bread meatball skewers are gonna prove it. It's just meatballs, crescent dough, and garlic butter. But stick a skewer through it and you've got the perfect dunking vessel. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and line a large baking sheet with parchment paper. Roll out 1 crescent roll sheet and press the seams together. Or you can buy them in a full sheet, which is what I like to do. Cut it into 6 strips. Then cut each strip in half and cut those in half again so that you have 24 pieces. Wrap a piece of dough around a meatball and push a skewer through the whole thing. Set the skewers on the baking sheet. This is where the magic happens. This butter sauce is really going to bump up the flavor. In a small bowl, mix 4 tablespoons of melted butter with a teaspoon of oregano, 1 clove of garlic minced, and 2 tablespoons of freshly grated parmesan. Brush half of that over the skewers before they go into the oven. Bake them for about 20 minutes until the meatballs are cooked through and the pastry is golden. Brush on the rest of that garlic butter. Serve them with marinara on the side for dipping and garnish them with a little more parmesan. These are like a little meatball sub but so easy to eat and way less messy.
These mushroom and Parmesan bites are the fanciest thing you can make with a tube of Crescent rolls, and just wait until you try that cream sauce. Heat a tablespoon of olive oil in a skillet over medium heat. Add 8 large mushrooms sliced, along with a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano and a little bit of salt and pepper. Saute the mushrooms, stirring them occasionally until they're golden brown. Then transfer them to a plate. Add a tablespoon of butter to that same skillet. Once it's melted, pour in 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream and cook it at a low boil for like 3 to 5 minutes until it starts to thicken up. Lower the heat and stir in 1/2 of the 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan. Season it with salt to taste, and then take it off the heat. Roll out the Crescent dough, and you're going to use a 2-inch cutter to cut out circles. You can probably get about 18 out of the dough. Place them on your baking sheet, then you're going to top each one with a small amount of that cream sauce and spread that over the top. Then top each with 2 to 3 mushroom slices and sprinkle it with the remaining Parmesan cheese. Bake them for about 12 minutes until they're golden around the edges. Pretty amazing what you can do with dough, mushroom, and cream.
I love a quick and easy dessert, and it really doesn't get any better than these cherry croissant bites. You'll need crescent roll dough. 1 tube will make 8 bites. Then you can scale up from there if you want. Lightly grease your muffin tin, 1 for each roll of dough you're using. Then set the individual crescent rolls into each cup, leaving the ends hanging out over the top. Grab a can of cherry pie filling and start spooning it evenly into the cups. Now pull the dough ends up and over the filling, overlapping them at the top. We're going to bake these at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 14 minutes. We want them to be golden and crispy on top. Take them out of the oven and let them rest for 5 minutes. All right, while those are resting, we're going to quickly mix up 1 cup of powdered sugar with about 2 tablespoons of milk. Just mix it until it's smooth. Take the bites out of the tin and drizzle that glaze right over the top before you serve them. It's like a little cherry pie, but trust me, it takes way less time to make.
If you're the one gobbling up all the garlic bread at dinner, you have to make these buttery garlic knots. They're packed with buttery garlic flavor, crispy and light as air. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Lay out your crescent rolls and press the seams together. Then you can cut it into 10 strips and then in half. Tie the dough strips into knots. Now let's get started on the garlic butter. You're going to need a cast iron skillet or another heavy bottom pan that can go in the oven. Put 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a pan and heat it up on medium until it's melted. Then add a tablespoon of minced garlic and let that simmer until it's nice and fragrant. Then you can take it off the heat. Set the garlic knots into the pan. Okay, we're going to slide this right into the oven and let it bake for 8 to 10 minutes. You'll know they're done when the garlic knots are a nice golden brown. Garnish with some parsley and they're ready to serve. These make a really great finger food for a party. As soon as somebody spots them, they're gone. If you liked our pizza crescent rolls, just wait till you try these buffalo chicken crescent rolls. These are the ones you're going to make again and again. Grab a bowl and combine a cup of shredded cooked chicken, a 1/4 cup of buffalo wing sauce, and 1/2 teaspoon of dry ranch seasoning. Mix that all up. Open the roll of crescent dough and spread out all the pieces. You'll have 8 from 1 package. Now you need to cut the mozzarella sticks in half. Then lay a piece of mozzarella cheese on top. Spoon some of that chicken mixture across the wide end of each one of the crescents. Roll the dough up so it's nice and tight. Then you can place them in your air fryer basket or on a baking sheet. Beat 1 egg with about a tablespoon of water and brush that over the tops. Then sprinkle on a blend of about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of dried parsley. I'm air frying mine at 360 degrees for about 8 minutes. Bake them at 375 for 15 minutes or until they're golden brown. Serve it with blue cheese dressing on the side for dipping. Of all the appetizers, these are the ones I can't stop eating. That must mean something. You could even make them for lunch. They're incredible. We're making these adorable cream cheese stuffed crescent roll carrots. These are great because you can put any flavor of cream cheese in there that you want. First, unroll the dough and cut it into 8 strips. These are about a 1/2 inch wide. The easiest way that I've found to do the carrots is to make a little tinfoil mold and wrap the dough around it. You don't have to use the whole strip, just like that. They do not have to be perfect, just do your best. Now let's put them in the oven. They need to bake for about 7 to 9 minutes on 400 degrees Fahrenheit. When they come out, they'll look like this. Now you can remove the foils from inside, and you have that perfect space to pipe some filling. Start by mixing up the cheese. You want it to be super tasty, so add some cheddar, some ranch seasoning, Worcestershire sauce, whatever you like, and then mix it all up. Put the cheese in a piping bag with a large tip, or you can use a Ziploc bag and cut the corner off. Squeeze it into the roll. Fill it up with a little bit sticking out the top. That's where you're gonna put the little sprig of parsley. Aren't these cute? Almost too cute to eat. This recipe is an awesome charred scallion dip that we're serving in little crescent roll cups. It does take a minute to make, but you'll be happy to hear that it tastes even better the next day. So the first part is very hands-off. You just have to cut the top off the garlic head, drizzle on some olive oil, salt and pepper, then wrap it up in tin foil. Put that in the oven on 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Now we've got the garlic in the oven and we're gonna take advantage of that and get the crescent rolls ready. Roll them out, press the seams together, and then cut it into 12 squares. Lightly spray a mini muffin tin, then press the squares into the tin. We're gonna cook these alongside the garlic for about 10 minutes until they're golden brown. That's the garlic done. Now we're ready for the scallions. Cut off the roots and any yellow stems. Put them on a baking sheet with some high smoke point oil, not olive oil. Season with salt and pepper. Now we're gonna put the green onions on the top rack in the oven under broil. You need to broil them until they're mostly charred. It might feel strange waiting that long, but do it, it's all flavor. When they're cooled a bit, chop them up. This is the fun part. Squeeze out all that garlic into a bowl. Add the scallions, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 6 ounces of sour cream, and a pinch of salt and pepper. Mix it all up. Put this in the fridge and let it sit. All those flavors are gonna meld. It's gonna be especially delicious. Once the crescent roll cups are done baking, you can spoon some of the dip into each one. They need a fresh pop of color, so we've got some more sliced green onions to put on top. I mean, these are so fantastic. They're easy to make, they're so tasty, they're a hit for sure. These mini cheeseburger bites are so fun to make, and they're even more fun to eat. Start by cooking the ground beef. Crumble it up a little bit as it cooks so that the pieces are a little smaller. They'll fit better in the cups. Then be sure to drain any excess grease. Roll out the crescent dough. It'll have some seams in it, so just push those together. Then cut it into squares. Spray the wells of your muffin tin, then press the dough squares into each well. Now we're just gonna bake these at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes. All right, now that the pastry is mostly cooked, we can fill them up with the ground beef. Fill them right up to the top. And add a little slice of cheese. Put them back in the oven for about 3 minutes to melt the cheese. Then dress them up with whatever you want. I'm putting on some lettuce, ketchup, and a pickle. Aren't these great? Who doesn't love a cheeseburger? Now that you've seen how far a roll of crescent dough can take you, you'll never bring another boring appetizer again.
If you're already thinking about your next spread, then you should go watch our party appetizers video next, because these deserve some great company on that table.